Hey guys, so before I head off to other responsibilities, here's a cool little hip torque drill you can do. So imagine you have like a wallet or a business card you're trying to pull out like that, right? Or you're pulling out on this side. Now instead of trying to just use your arm to pull it out, maybe you're drawing a weapon from your back, imagine you're kind of like whipping it out, right? Like you're throwing a ninja star or something. Yeah. Anyways, so that means you kind of have to use your hip on the same side of the hand that you're drawing and kind of flip it out. And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna do that, but then you're gonna drop your arm down here, and the other hand's gonna do the same thing. So you're dropping like that. So I'm leaning back onto the hip that I'm gonna draw on. I'm gonna try to whip it out here, but then before overextending out, I'm gonna just bring it right back. So if I do it just on this side here, and if you add the other side, what you're gonna feel is your body kind of extending out, like you're getting thrown this way, and then you're gonna have to bring your knees out. So you're gonna flare out your structure so that you get rooted, right? So if I don't do that with my knees, I'm gonna feel like I'm getting pulled, right? Notice how my heels kind of lift up. Right at the point of impact, everything kind of shoots out. I'm squatting, my back straight, my shoulders are pulled back, and this is a great way to work that hip torque, right? And how does this translate? This is all your middle blocks, all your everything, all of your snappy internal type of techniques, right? Even throwing punches or exploding out of like a bear hug from behind. Let's say somebody grabs you from behind here, your arms are tucked, you can kind of pop out of that and move on to something else, right? Let's say someone's coming and crashing in like this and you have your arm kind of like holding them up. You kind of pop out of there without having to think about this big wavy motion of trying to push through, especially if he's stronger than you and stuff like that. Maybe your structure's collapsed in and you're kind of stuck like this, and it's going to be hard for you to try to drive this way. You got to add a little internal torque, shake to kind of open up your structure and rebuild that structure here. So the reason why that's important, right? If my structure's collapsed like this and it's a solid wall that I'm trying to push against, if I push against something with a collapsed structure, I'm not going to be able to push it back, right? I'm actually going to get pushed back myself. But once I start rebuilding that structure here, like your rising block, your middle block, stuff like that, having a correct alignment around the shoulders here, once I start rebuilding that structure, I'm now the solid foundation that this force has to move around, right? Even if that force is stronger than me, that means I can still kind of pivot myself away from that structure rather than getting pushed back by that structure with my collapsed structure, right? So if you kind of think of everything as just like building shapes, like you're building a bridge, rounded structures are always stronger than just square or rectangular structure, right? Because these can break in. So the more I kind of round my structure here, notice I've been doing that with expanding my shoulder, kind of like rounding my shoulder like that, versus trying to do this. Because this, if somebody pins your arm, either you're gonna have to backstep and lose ground, or you're not gonna be able to get the structure back. But if someone starts pinning here, you can kind of expand through that. And that's one of the things. So anyways, I'm trailing off, but doing motions like this, it doesn't have to be crazy in the beginning, right? I'm here, so I'm raising up, settling down, raising up, settling down, raising up, settling down. You can over exaggerate that shoulder, right? kind of like you're doing that in the katas that you know. Exaggerate that shoulder, pop it back. Over time it gets a little more condensed, right? And it gets a little more aggressive in that case. Here. I scared that chicken away. And then you start doing it from wherever you are, right? Rather than doing this big wind up, I get started, right? Right? And that'll come with time, just more reps. Good luck.